What's up? Got my boy here today, Eddy. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Terrence. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I want to congratulate you first and foremost on your acceptance as the George Washington. That's a big move.
Thank
I
you.
know it's a pretty prestigious university.
Very prestigious, yeah. Definitely compared to ASU.
Yeah.
So.
What was the choice like going, because you were like super sold on ASU?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was sold on ASU because I was kind of settling with a school like that. I mean, my college application process was definitely really long-winded, and there was a lot of ups and downs to it. So I just saw ASU as my biggest win, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to go with it. But then I got the opportunity to go to GW's Admitted Students Day. So I got to talk to my admissions counselor, kind of boost my chances of getting off the wait list. And then I wrote like a super thoughtful letter of continued interest, just kind of updating GW on things I'm doing since submitting my application. So I let them know about the marathon I ran. I let them know about my internship at Atalo and then another internship I have at a hedge fund this summer. And then through all that and just being persistent and checking my emails a lot, I was able to get off the wait list.
Get off the wait list. That's good. I mean, I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Because I know, we talked a lot about school and stuff like that, and that was your biggest thing. You was like, I want to go to a good school for accounting. Mm-hmm. God likes to think that he's the accounting master of the world at 18. So
that's the 18-year-old accountant.
Yeah,
in PA.
I wish the best for you. I mean, I know this has been long waited. So
yeah, thank you.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy to see what the next 4 years bring. But let's rewind back. Let's talk about leading up to this moment. Cause like you said, you're 18. You've had 18 years of growth. You've had 18 years, define success for yourself and figure out what you think is successful and being unsuccessful. How do you look at it as far as being successful? Like what is your definition of success?
I think being successful is like having the freedom to do what you want on your own time and having the freedom to kind of dictate how much money you're making. So I don't think you have to be like fully loaded and financially like independent, but I don't think you have to clock into another man's time, another man's like word, tell you when to go to work, tell you when you could go on vacation. And I think like being successful also means like doing what you love. So the reason I picked accounting, I'm not the most passionate person about accounting ever, but I've been like impacted a lot by small businesses like Benchmark, like Minders, and other small businesses across Lancaster. And then that's something I'm really passionate about and something I think I can make an impact in. So in return, accounting is something that's really passionate for me, and I think me becoming an accountant would be successful because it's something I could use to achieve my goals. But just to sum it up, I think being successful is just having freedom and then doing what you love every day.
I like to correlate success a lot with, like you said, not being like super rich. Like I don't want to be super fucking loaded where it's like I got all this money, I don't know what to do with it.
You don't need the Ferrari right away.
Yeah, but
you should be able to.
I want to be able to, give back to the people that have helped me along the way. Because there's been a lot of people along my life that have kept me in check and, kept me in line and stuff like that. So that's like my idea of success, is being able to say like, yo, if Will, the owner of Benchmark, if he writes me or something, says like, they're working on something, I could just write out a check for it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, here you go. Like,
hell yeah.
This is my fucking money. I don't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I want to do the same thing for my church,
and I want to be able. And I want to be able to, like you said, I don't want to clock in for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go on vacations and, do stuff and have the financial freedom, and to me, that's what success looks like. But for a lot of people, that's not being successful. A lot of people, is like having a family. Like, so I don't want people to think that, success only comes from money, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
It comes from, growing as a person. Like you said, your church, and, you have a very close-knit family over here. So, we're going to touch on that in a little bit. But so your idea of success, though, is definitely
freedom and happiness.
It's the general ideology for we've already touched on success and being successful and stuff like that. So would you like to give a backstory about what's been like for you growing up and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up in Ethiopia, a country with really rich history. It is a third world country, so I guess it's not the best place in the world to grow up, but I was really privileged to have amazing, hardworking parents that had a stable income there, and they were able to really provide for me and my siblings everything that we could ever want to succeed. So I definitely owe a lot of all the good in my life to my parents, because they definitely put in the work for me to get to this point. But then when I was 2008, my parents decided to immigrate to America. in the hopes of having a better education for me and my siblings. So this kind of ties back with the whole college application process and how meaningful it is, because my parents did bring me to this country for education. But since then, I grew up in Hempfield my entire life in a upper middle class home, and I'm really like privileged to have two hardworking parents at home that really like set a really high benchmark for me, because ever since I was a young kid, they always told me the importance of school, the importance of education, going to church, and I think they put me 99% of the way there to what my goal is, which is being like financially free and being able to support them. So just having two parents that were able to put in the work and just do the hard part for me really made me appreciate what they've done. It makes me want to pay it forward for my kids.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's as much shit as we give you about all your stuff and your upbringing
being suburban,
and stuff, like, but it's definitely a blessing. Like,
for sure.
You have the foundation that people along the way had to learn. You were already, your parents understood like what was supposed to happen, what was supposed to be established for you, and everything. So you definitely worked. You're definitely working towards your goal and working towards making your parents proud, and I'm pretty sure they already are proud of you.
They were ecstatic when I got into GW.
I know. So
they were hyped.
It's definitely like a big moment for you. Like I said, like that's why that was the first thing I brought up, because that's a big moment for you.
Oh yeah.
Especially because I know I've seen you through the whole application process. With
I mean, I got rejected from Lehigh. I was sick for like a month.
Yeah.
So it was worth it at the end, though.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, we talk about success. A lot of success comes from your foundation.
Yeah,
it comes from who you're around and who impacts your life the most. And to have a stable foundation from the beginning with your parents and them willing to make the sacrifice to ensure that you're successful, is a big thing. And I'm happy that you were able to acknowledge that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a lot of people brush it off, but you're able to acknowledge it and you understand that.
I saw this one thing called talking about Nepo babies. You know what that is? Like nepotism, when your parents are like super rich finance guy and then you grow up and then you work at the same firm. And he's talking about like, does it piss you off that people have a head start? And he was like, I mean, I agree with his opinion fully, but he was like, nah, it doesn't piss me off as long as they acknowledge it. Because if you think about it, if you're born in America, you're a Nepo baby in itself, because you're starting off 99% ahead of everyone else in the country. So I think there's nothing wrong with being, I mean, life isn't fair regardless. Some people get dealt good hands, some people get dealt horrible hands. But I think what you make of it is like acknowledging your situation and then being able to better yourself and not just tread water, but like try to do better from where you're at. So I think acknowledging it's really important, because it's really hard to respect someone that doesn't really acknowledge all the easy things they got handed to them and say that their hard work got them there when it didn't. For most people.
That's a fact. I mean, like you said, like, it doesn't bother me as long as you acknowledge it.
Yeah,
you understand that, like, I didn't have a millionaire mother. Like, so whatever I do in my life is what I do in my life. But I'm ahead of other people because of the simple fact that I was born in America. And that I was born into, even like the values that my mom instilled in me put me ahead of other people.
100%.
Like she showed me what it's like to be hardworking, what it's like to be a man and be disciplined and, stuff like that. So even that put me ahead, so I can't really be upset at someone else, for whatever they got going on in their life. Is not. I'm very worried about myself.
Yeah.
I should be. Yeah. I look at it like, however they got there is how they got there. I'm gonna be there one day, and I'm probably be over them. I'm not worried about it. It has nothing to do with me.
It definitely feels a lot better when you do it yourself, because I was thinking like, all right, what if I was born into a super rich Saudi oil family that had billions of dollars, right? You think owning a Bugatti would have like any emotional attachment to me? It wouldn't, because I would never know what it's like to not have that car. But being able to drive my 2004 Civic, and then once I get my dream car or any car that I want, it's definitely going to feel a lot more, because then you actually experience what it's like to not have it. So I think definitely is a lot more power in not having it, because
my first car was a 2008 Civic. So
my first car was a Cadillac, and then it blew up, and then I got the Civic. So it was a bit backwards, but I learned my lesson.
What you were racing?
Huh?
You were racing?
No, I wasn't racing. It's just I wanted the Cadillac, but I wasn't like at the Cadillac level. Like, you could buy a car when it's here or it's here for you. I bought it when it was here. So that car was like my most prized possession, put all my money into it, and the engine took a shit on me. and then I had to sell it on Facebook Marketplace for like parts, basically. So yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta like it's all about perspective, and it's all about like you didn't. It probably pissed you off. You were like, damn.
I was talking to Gabe about it because I was like, all right, I probably dumped like a total of like 10 to 12K with my parents into that car. And he was like, why'd you buy it? I thought you knew a bunch about cars. I was like, I knew nothing about cars before I got that Cadillac. And now I know like a lot how to work on cars. I know a lot about cars. And I think I'm never going to make that same mistake again. And then he asked me, he was like, you think your car knowledge is worth that $10,000? And I was like, 100%. Because I know in the future, if I ever want to buy a car now with the knowledge I know, like learning from that mistake, I'm definitely going to save a lot more than $10,000 in my whole life. Whether that's me buying my car or like a cousin or my kids, like I'm going to be able to save that money over time because I gained like so much knowledge through a mistake. So it definitely is like how you look at it, because I could still be pissed off about that car when I think about it, but I think I gained more than I lost.
Yeah, you learn lessons from it, and you learn stuff. Like I've had cars, plenty of cars, took plenty of shits on me. So, yeah. But you gain knowledge along the way. You gain how to be financially smart. Depending on the car you get, you look at it differently. You're like, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have got this car. Maybe I can't afford it right now. Yeah. I just wanted it, and I was like, yeah, I fucking got it now. Yeah. And now I'm stuck with something that, that
breaks down.
Yeah.
Hole in your wallet.
Yeah. So that's definitely something to be smart about.
It was worth it though. That feeling I got in the student parking lot as a sophomore pulling up in the caddy, I was like a different level of dickhead. I just had to let everyone know, and everyone did know, and I was proud about it because I was like, I bought it myself. All these other kids, if you got a nice car, your parents bought it for you. So I was just like, fuck yeah, dude, you could.
Yeah, that's good though. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
So over the years, and definitely more recently, what has your mental health been like through the ups and downs of success? Because success is never it's not
linear.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. It's very up and down, up and down, up and down. Because of the simple fact that, it's unpredictable, and it also comes from there's a lot of other factors that play into being successful. Yeah. So I know, like, for me, it was a big turning point was like my idea of success when I was 18 was, going to college and playing football and doing all this stuff and being able to graduate, doing every other stuff that I wanted to do. And then at 20, that perspective changed. But there was also like other factors that happened, like I tore my MCL, so that was very like distraught for me because it was like this is a hitch in my road. Yeah, this is something I have to overcome. But it was like, what the fuck? Like, why me? Like, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? So how has it been? Because I know you were going through the application process of being in college and stuff like that. Yeah, and then also like being in high school, like you're, for lack of a better term, you're a sore thumb. Like like there's not that many like people at Hemphill. Yeah,
there isn't a bunch. Yeah, there's probably like one or two in my classes, and that's it.
Yeah, so how has your mental health been throughout the years? Knowing that you where you want to be at and having these obstacles to overcome.
I'd say for the most part, for like mostly all of it, or for the most part, my mental health's been pretty stable, which I'm really blessed to have, and I attribute a lot of that to like the environment I was raised in. I wasn't really raised in a broken home, so I didn't really have anything like nagging at me from my childhood that would really affect my mental health. And then I definitely have to credit like a lot of it to my faith because I go to church a lot. And then anytime I really had anything that really like hit me hard, I knew there was a better thing coming. When my Cadillac like blew up on me, that was definitely super detrimental to me. And even owning the car, every time I got a check engine light, dude, my heart sank. Like that car definitely messed with my mental health a lot. But in return, once that car broke, I was able to get a reliable car, and then I got an internship right after. When I got rejected from Lehigh, I started getting paid for my internship after that. So like anytime something bad happened to me, I know God had something better for me in store that would really outweigh it, because you really do have to go through the bad before you get to the good. But I'd definitely say times that were a bit more difficult for me was definitely when my car had problems, and then getting rejected at Lehigh, which I'm really grateful for. Because now that I think about it, like the person I was when I got rejected from Lehigh and now is like completely different. Before I got rejected from Lehigh, I mean, I still had my dreads, I didn't even train for my marathon yet. So I've definitely came a long way since then. And I definitely think I read a quote that said, if you have the power to fail in front of everyone and be able to take it to the chin and keep going, like you get a lot of power doing that, because that means you don't really care what anyone else thinks. And then you can believe in yourself. and you know that you could succeed no matter if you fail 100 times, you just got to succeed once. So I think failing in front of everyone after telling my entire church and teachers and classmates I was going to Lehigh and then getting rejected was definitely good for me. And then in return, I was able to kind of acknowledge my weaknesses and see where I need to improve and then just go at it from there. But I've definitely had very good mental health for like my entire high school days. And then I really didn't experience too many problems at Hempfield regarding like racism, because I think I've had the same like core friend group since elementary school. So
yeah, that was good that you grew up in Hempfield, because it would have been like
a culture shock for sure.
Yeah. So you kind of grew up with the environment and everything. So not saying that, you know, I don't know life at Hempfield, so I'm not gonna say it's like super duper racist. I don't think it's super duper racist. I don't know what the vibes are over there. I can't judge something just off of, you know, what I've heard. I just know that, like I said, there's not that many people.
Yeah, there isn't.
Look like you, but there's been a like constant that you keep saying is like, you know, like stability. Like you keep speaking on like stability, whether it be from your family or from yourself. You know, because you said like being rejected from Lehigh, you had to rely on that stability a lot, and then you have a good supporting cast of people around you.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a thing of like, you know, like leaning on them whenever you feel down. So that's like a big thing for me. It was like whenever I was like in the shitter about everything, I'm like, damn, like I have to speak to someone, because I've spoke about it before. I'm not the biggest fan of therapy. Yeah. So I don't speak to a lot of people. I'm not about to go to therapy. I believe, not everybody, I believe, this is just me, that, you know, not a lot of people really care about your problem.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. Yeah,
so it's like
no one cares. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your own problem.
Yeah, like you gotta save yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna throw you a life raft. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, they could say they feel bad, they could show empathy, but no one's gonna solve your problem for you.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, like, what are we gonna do now? We gotta figure something out. We gotta cook something up. So that's the thing. That's the biggest thing where I've taken from is like, over the years, whenever I failed, I was never really like super depressed about it. But I'm like, all right, what the fuck am I gonna do about this? What am I gonna do to change this? Because it's a simple thing of like, when you look at a problem, every problem has a solution in the long run. Yeah. So if I look at, you know, like tearing my MCL, I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm not gonna do surgery on my own knee. You're not. It is what it is. Like, what am I gonna do to get better? Like,
just move past it.
I can't sit here and cry about it. It is what it is. It happened to happen. Yeah. So like, what was your mindset? Was that your same mindset going from the rejection of Lehigh? Like, were you like, it is what it is? Because I know it really sucked. Because you were like super determined. You were like, this is their mascot. Yeah. You know, I
toured the school twice.
Like the book. You was on the bookstore looking for like clothes and stuff. Yeah. So
I think the first thing I had to do was like acknowledge my weakness, because I was like, all right. I mean, this is a really selective school, but my college application definitely isn't as competitive as I thought it would be. And I was like, all right, how do I fix it? Looked at my extracurriculars. They were definitely really strong. My essay was really strong. And I think the weak point I found was in my grades, because I had good grades. It's just the course rigor that I took. I really didn't take too many like AP classes or IB classes. And then when I like went in deeper, I realized I never took my 4th year of math, which isn't a requirement to graduate for Hempfield. But some schools still do let you in with 3 math credits. But a lot of schools, their business program kind of have a cutoff at 4 math credits. Yeah. So I know it was Lehigh, it was University of Illinois, Clemson, and a couple other schools I just got completely disqualified for because of that math credit. So I was like, all right, that's a trade-off that I took. You know, I could have taken math and then had less time at my internship, or I could have had my internship full-time like I did. And I was comfortable with that trade-off. I didn't really lose any sleep about it, because I was like, okay, I think the network that I gained in Lancaster and being able to work in a city like this and being able to like grow professionally, definitely I gained a lot more than that than learning pre-calc. So I think just acknowledging my weakness, and then how do I fix that? I was like, all right, I'll email some colleges and let them know that I'm willing to take my 4th math credit this spring if they accept me. That didn't work, so I just found a school that would accept me, which was ASU. And then I still stayed persistent. I got waitlisted from George Washington and Syracuse, so I stayed emailing them, and then I was able to just land it with George Washington, which I'm excited about. But definitely had to find my weaknesses And then just like things to lean on, definitely like my mentors, like Gabe, like Leo, and a lot of other people at Atalo that I leaned on. And I think having a healthy ego definitely helps out a lot when you're down, because I think like every guy should have a little bit of an ego to just kind of let them know that, you know, you're still that guy, even though when you're down, like just look at your past achievements and then acknowledge them and know that you could take this like head on.
Yeah, I correlate a lot of things in my life to like the one constant in my life through my development has been like weightlifting. And I correlate a lot of things to weightlifting because I think of it like it's either you're gonna fall or you're gonna fail or succeed. Like there's no in between. There's no gray line with when you lift weights. There's like failure and success. Yeah, it is what it is. So, but it also teaches you like overcoming adversity and, you know, determination and stuff like that, because you have to, in order to get good at this, you have to be consistent. You can't like just come in the gym once a week and be like, oh, I'm going to get stronger. And that's not how it works. So you have to be consistent and you have to be okay with failing. So like, you know, like one story I talk about a lot of time with failing is like, there was one night where I was in here squatting and I fell in front of everybody. Yeah. Like I failed in front of everybody. Like loud, plates rattling, noise, like plates fall, everything. But it's like, it is what it is. Everybody's asking me if I'm okay. I'm like, bro, I'm cool. Like, that's what happens in life. You fail. I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it. Put the rack back up. I'm gonna fucking hit this. I'm gonna hit this bitch again. I'm gonna keep trying. Yeah. So, but in life, you know, like a lot of people get to that hard point and they just give up. Yeah. You know, like they get to that wall and they're just like, it is what it is. Maybe this wasn't meant for me. But sometimes after that wall is immediate success. And sometimes it's that, you know, that one step that you have to take that kind of leads you into being successful. So was there like a pivotal step that you took, like crushing through a wall where you were like there was a wall where you're like, maybe this isn't for me, and then, you know, like you stepped through it and you were like, whoa, look at this fucking successful life I just walked into.
Definitely say when I picked up running with Brad, who's definitely been a great mentor, just being able to talk to him while I'm running. And I know you're talking about a wall, but there's literally like an actual like theoretical wall when you're running a marathon where you hit mile 18, 19. It happened to the other Terrence where we were running and then it's just like, bam, dude, he just like everything started cramping up. He hurt. He had to stop running. And I had to keep going, but definitely just like having a wall like that in your way is something you have to overcome. That's definitely like something I learned a lot firsthand from Brad, because he's definitely like, when I think of like a stand-up guy, I think of Brad like being able to be a business owner, a dad, a husband, and being able to train for all these marathons and just be a great leader in his community, you know, for the work he does at Benchmark and Water Street Mission. I definitely learned a lot from him, from overcoming adversity and just being able to keep pushing, because you really don't need to know the direction you're going. I feel like God finds the direction, but you just got to keep pressing on the gas and keep moving forward. Yeah. And I think if you have the right mindset and if you have the right people around you and you're able to just stay consistent and keep working. I mean, if you asked me a year from now, if I knew that I would have ran, I would have cut my hair, I would have had 2 internships, and then I would have been going to school at George Washington, I would have not like thought that at all. I would have had a completely different like path for myself, but I didn't really get to choose my path. So you really just need to keep working, and I think good things will come, because a lot of the times good things come is just being at the right place at the right time and getting like a little bit lucky. Because I remember for the George Washington wait list, I got an email at around 11 p.m. and it was asking me if I was still interested in the school. I replied to it right away. I was probably one of the first people that replied to it because I had like the email notifications. And then when I was scrolling on Reddit, they let me know that like if students didn't reply to that email within 2 hours, they would have been kicked off the wait list. So that was just me being at the right place at the right time, checking my phone, saw the email, and then I was able to get off the wait list. So I think a lot of it comes from luck and being at the right place and right time, but you're never going to be at the right place if you quit. So you just got to keep on putting your head down and just working and just hoping for the right opportunity, because it'll come eventually.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like you said, there's like a actual wall that you smack when you're running. Yeah. And there's an actual wall that you smack in life when you get let down about certain stuff. But it's about, you know, pushing through it and overcoming it. Because it's the thing of like, if I sit here and I say, I want to be successful, I want to do this, I want to do that, how am I going to be successful if I quit at everything I try? So there is never going to be any level of, because failure is a part of being successful. And I think that's what people are afraid of, is people are afraid to fail. But you have to be comfortable failing, because every time you fail, there's a lesson to be learned. I failed so many times in my life, but if I didn't fail, I wouldn't be successful. Like, for example, you know, I work at Benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
A week before I worked at Benchmark, I got laid off.
Dang.
Like, I got fired from my job.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's a failure, but you changed it.
Yeah, like you fail in life. At the end of the day, you fail. But at the end of the day, that wasn't a job I liked. Mm-hmm. I hated it. I'm at a job now where I like it. I make more money. It's like, it fits my schedule better. Everything works for me now. So even in business, when I look at, you know, I talk to millions and millions of business owners. I've been connected with millions of business owners, and they constantly tell me is like, I failed. Like, for some of them, that's like their 15th startup.
Yeah,
and they finally got successful.
You just gotta be right once.
It's just, in life, you know, I compare a lot of things to baseball too, because in baseball, they say that's the hardest sport to play.
Definitely is. Yeah.
And if you look at baseball, you're a good baseball player if you bat 350. So that means
you're right 30% of the time.
Yeah, like,
that's crazy.
You guessed right 30% of the time.
That's a failing grade in class, but it doesn't matter in the real world.
In baseball, that's a successful.
Hey, in business, you gotta be right 1% of the time, and that's
exactly.
Yeah.
I need to hit on one thing.
And I think a lot of times, like, when you fail, you really gotta have like your back against the wall for you to really, like, because you know, all right, it's sink or swim. I gotta get this done. I gotta get this business started. I gotta work hard at this new job, or I'm not gonna have anything else. So definitely, like, there's a lot of power in the struggle when you fail a lot and you're like, all right, I know what I need to do to fix it.
I think that's why I chose business management as my major. Mm-hmm. I think that was like a big pivotal thing, was like, I was comfortable with failing.
Yeah, and it's important.
That was the biggest thing that, and this is gonna sound crazy, but that was the biggest reason I dropped out of school, was because I was okay with failing. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things that I was learning in my business management class wasn't how to own a business.
Yeah.
It was learning how to manage someone else's, or be a part of someone else's team. And I explained to the business teacher, you know, I talked to him and I explained to him, like, for some people that's okay because it's a safer option. For me, that's not, because at the end of the day, you got to take risks to be successful. Oh, yeah. I don't want to be an average guy. I was never okay with being average. I was never okay with being slightly above average. I always wanted to stand out
and excel at everything.
When I walk in a room, I want people to feel my presence.
Oh yeah.
I want them to know that, damn, this nigga carries weight.
Like, you want to have that aura.
Yeah, you have that, and I already kind of have it because of the way I carry myself. I'm a confident person. I don't speak out of turn, and when I speak, it's always meaningful. So it's a thing of, like, whenever you walk in a room, if you want to be a successful person, you don't have to be the loudest person in the room, but you have to be the loudest person in the room.
Yeah. When you speak, everyone listens.
It's just like, you can hear a pin drop, because they understand that something good's about to come out of it. So I mean, that's good for you, that you know, like, you have a foundation, and that's why we're close, because it's like, I look at you and I'm like, damn, this kid is way older than 18.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way he's not an average 18-year-old, because even when you speak to me, I'm like, all right, like, let me hear what he gotta say, because it's always something good, and it's a new perspective on things. Yeah. But there's also things that, you know, like, you're 18.
Yeah, I definitely got that immaturity, but there's a lot of things where I'm like a 40-year-old man. You know, I don't drive on highways. I golf. I fish. Yeah. A lot of elderly stuff that I do, but there's definitely a lot more immature stuff I do to even it out. But
I mean, you're 18, so what life there's gonna become moments where, you know, like, there's bookmark moments. There's always a moment that you can look back at and say that was, like, a pivotal point. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like, that's my last question of the day. What would you say is, like, your bookmark moment so far in your life?
That was, like, really pivotal.
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be, like, life altering. It could be like, damn, I remember this, and because of this, I'm a better person now.
I think a year ago or a year ago or 2 years ago, I won a pitch competition at Italo for a startup that I had called Remedy, which delivers these, like, boxes to college students that have everything you need to feel better. So it has, like, chicken noodle soup, it has electrolytes, cough drops, tissues.
So you came up with a hangover cure.
Basically, yeah, like a hangover box.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, that was actually one. We had one for the common cold, we had one for hangovers, and we had one for bug bites. Like, that was our three, like, starting things. And then I guess the most, like, influential thing I gained from that was kind of momentum, because I think momentum's, like, a really powerful thing. And then once you got one win, just keeps like going into the other stuff. So through that, I was able to get my internship at Atalo, and then from there I was able to secure an extension on that was paid, and then on top of that I was able to get an internship in the summer at a different place. So I think just having that, and I definitely had a lot of small wins on the way there, whether that was getting to meet like a business professional, whether that's me getting to, I don't know, just like tour a business with the owner, like small wins on the way that kept that momentum going. But I think having that was definitely a really good like jolt to the system and kickstart to let me know like what I'm really capable of. And that definitely helped me out a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely good. I mean, that was definitely probably one of your most pivotal points, because like you said, without the internship, you wouldn't have opened so many doors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the internship definitely helped push you into who you are today. But what happened with Remedy? It just you ever started up and it just
it was originally my classmate's idea, because I took a college business class before startup, so that was his idea, and then it was 4 of us, 2 of them graduated, so it was just me and Justin. And then I brought it over to Atalo, where it was me and 4 people. One of the students isn't part of Atalo anymore, so it's just the 3 of us. And then the other 2, one of them I'm going to GW with, so he definitely has like some interest in the business. But I think the third girl, she's going to a different college and kind of, I don't know if she's pursuing business or not. So we're just kind of trying to find a way to just like buy them out, buy her out, and then, or if she wants to stay involved, she can stay involved. We haven't really, we have the money in the account, but we haven't done anything yet, because I guess it's a college-oriented business, and I was kind of focusing on getting to college first. But now that I'm in college, I definitely have some thinking to do, and then some ways to start it, because definitely,
I think Remedy has a chance to be successful.
Yeah, for sure. And
I think we're talking about like if I could click a couple buttons and I got like a hangover box in my dorm,
that's clutch.
I definitely would have needed you every single Friday and Saturday night of my 3-year college career.
Yeah, I think
because there's times where you don't want to get up and drive.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't want to get out of my bed and drive. If someone just drops it off in my door, and like a lot
of kids don't have a car at college.
Yeah,
I was talking to this one guy who's one of the judges, and he was like, I think you could definitely market the hangover thing more to like older people, like a bit older than college, because those are the people that get hit hard by hangovers. Yeah. Like you said, when you're 18, 19, 20, like you could rub it, you could just like
24.
Yeah.
24, I think I hit my wall. I think that's my wall, my alcoholic wall. I don't think I could just bounce back anymore. I think I need a day.
You need the activated charcoal, you need the bread, you need the electro. That's probably why you're drinking that, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm drinking at. I'm hurting right now. Yeah. So it's like you have a market, and you don't have a market just at college. You have a market there's people older than me, 26, 27, when they go out and drink, it might not even be super fucked up, but the next day they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're going to feel it.
Yeah, so
I think the end-all, be-all goal for that was kind of like have our own app or get on DoorDash, where you could kind of just like order food, and then you add like a Remedy box to it on the way there.
I think that's like a great idea. I think that's definitely in the works, and I see potential in it.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I'm buku rich in these next couple of years, I'm definitely
investor.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop some bread on Remedy. Because I think I think that has the potential to be one of the next big things.
Oh yeah.
As like you said, it all started with a dream. DoorDash started with a dream. All these clothing brands, Uber started with a dream. Yeah. Everything starts with a dream. It just has certain people have to buy in it at a certain time, and then next thing you know, it's taking off.
It's gone, yeah.
So, but I definitely appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you having me.
You came on a Saturday morning after run. What was a run club this morning?
Nah, I slept in. Yeah, I didn't go to that. Yeah,
okay.
That marathon got me feeling a little bit spoiled, kind of taking the week easy.
Before you leave, what's something that you could leave with the people? Whether it be 18 to 24, 24 to 30, anywhere. What's a couple key things that you feel like, can help everybody regardless of their age?
Oh, regardless of their age? I think just go out there, just be like a continuous student, always try to be learning, always try doing new things, and just get out your comfort zone, because you're really not going to know anything until you try it. So that whether that's picking up running, whether that's, starting a gardening page, you could really do whatever you want, but like just find something that brings you joy and that you could do with the people that you love, or you can teach the people that you love, and just go out there and do it, because you're going to regret a lot of things that you didn't do when you were younger, where you were more like physically able. And then definitely just like stay in shape, because like the best way to stay in shape, no, the best way to get into shape is to never be out of shape. So I think that's like one way to really like add some years onto your life and make sure that, you know, if you live a long time, you're gonna be definitely happy while you live, and you're not gonna be aching in pain.
I told Brad though, I said once I'm done being strong, I'll go run with you.
Yeah,
no. I'll drop some lbs once I'm done trying to be like, you know, an iron biter.
Yeah,
I'll go.
Yeah, Brad's definitely like a perfect example of that, because he's 55 and he finished that marathon a couple minutes after me.
Yeah, so
and that was his 10th. Yeah, and I was at the PT tent getting stretched out at the end, getting a massage gun, and then dude, he looked at it and just smiled. He was like, I don't need that. So he's definitely, you want to be like Brad when you're older, because I want to be like Brad when I'm older. He's definitely an amazing role model, and yeah.
I'm happy for you though. I'm happy you found, you know, you found a role model, you found a path, and like I said, I just wish you the best of luck at GW. But I appreciate you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yo, listen, best of luck. You got my number if anything. So,
yeah.
You know, I'm gonna let you go back to the rest of your Saturday.
Appreciate it.
I won't hold you up too long.
Thank you.